While the Nasdaq fell nearly 600, it was their worst day since mid-June, and the S&P lost 125 points.
The local family of an LA firefighter who may have been kidnapped in Rosarito, Mexico, is speaking out tonight. 10 News reporter Jennifer Kastner has been in contact with the local FBI office, which is now involved.
Frank Aguilar's family told me he loves crossing the border to spend time in his condo, and he's always felt safe there. It's now been more than 2 weeks since 20-year veteran LA firefighter Frank Aguilar was last seen after heading to his second home in Rosarito, Mexico. Concerns of foul play have grown.
We're very hopeful. We haven't lost hope.
Due to safety concerns, his cousin Nancy is only providing a first name. She's one of his many San Diego relatives.
Nobody seems to know anything, and it's very frustrating for the family not to know anything.
Wednesday, LA Mayor Eric Garcetti announced that his office learned from Mexican authorities that the 48-year-old firefighter may have been violently kidnapped from his Baja condo.
We will work tirelessly to make sure that Frank is returned safely.
He did mention that he is going to provide all resources from Los Angeles City to help get my dad back.
Daughters Bella and Amaris say his condo was in a guard-gated community. His family telling reporters his phone is off and they've heard that his condo may have been ransacked. His vehicles are missing and Ring video shows a troubling scene.
I had just spoken to my dad the morning of that we had discovered he was missing when he left to Rosarito, and he was just describing to me how safe or how good he felt in that community. He wanted to retire there.
They hope he can see this and have this message for him.
We're gonna get you back. I love you so much.
Late Thursday, the San Diego FBI office told us in part it's providing resources and assistance as requested by its Mexican law enforcement counterparts. Jennifer Kastner, ABC 10 News.
Bank tellers in Ocean Beach are breathing a sigh of relief after going through an attempted bank robbery. An employee inside a Chase Bank on Sunset Cliffs called police just before noon. They reported a suspect came in demanding access to the bank vault. The tellers did not give in and ran to a safe location inside. Residents watched as police surrounded the bank in a brief standoff with the robber.
I was actually about to walk into the building when the police officer pulled in the parking lot and told me not to go in there immediately. So I obviously complied. Something's very wrong. The police officer doesn't want you to go in the bank.
Police say that robber tried to run out of the bank empty-handed but was stopped. He was booked into county jail for attempted robbery.
Joe Biden left Kenosha, Wisconsin after meeting with the family of Jacob Blake and members of the community. Blake's family told Biden they want police shootings involving black people to be dealt with at the federal level. Here's ABC's Faith Abubey.
The words of a president matter. No matter if they're good, bad, or indifferent, they matter.
Former Vice President Joe Biden arriving in Kenosha, Wisconsin, just as tensions in the city streets begin to quell. Several peaceful nights causing the mayor to lift a curfew, which had been in place since a white police officer shot Jacob Blake, a 29-year-old African-American man, in the back 7 times. Biden and his wife Jill meeting privately with Blake's relatives and speaking with Blake by phone.
What I came away with was the overwhelming sense of resilience.
This days after President Trump visited the city and met with law enforcement and business owners, but not with Blake's family.
Actually, we must give far greater support to our law enforcement. It's all about giving them additional support. These are great people.
Ahead of Biden's visit, the president threatening to take federal dollars away from several Democrat-led cities. But the threat appears empty, as legally only Congress can authorize and direct some federal spending, not the White House. The president on Twitter calling Portland, D.C., New York, and Seattle lawless zones with weak mayors who allow anarchists to ruin lives, a reference to the recent protests against police brutality. If the president does carry out his threat, it would result in a cut in funding for police officers and in the fight against COVID-19.
If the states will not act in their police power and secure their streets, this president will use every lawful mechanism available to him to try to supplement their failures.
The move is the president's latest attempt to cast himself as a law and order candidate. On CNN, Attorney General William Barr making unproven allegations against Blake.
In the Jacob case, he was in the midst of committing a felony and he was armed.
As the streets remain calm in Kenosha, protests erupted overnight in D.C. after another police-involved shooting of a young black man. Police say he brandished a firearm. Both Biden and the president are in battleground states today. Biden in Wisconsin, while Trump stops in Pennsylvania. In Washington, Faith Abube, ABC News.
The CHP is turning to one of its own officers struck by tragedy to warn people not to drink and drive this holiday weekend.
I wish my cousin and Scott and Nancy and Jackson were still here.
The emotional video the department is using to get its message across, plus the grant that's easing the pain of the pandemic and helping to keep a local sport fishing business afloat. And it started with a few women with sewing machines determined to help during the pandemic. The powerful bond formed between the sewing angels and frontline workers. ABC 10 News is back in 90 seconds.
A sport fishing business is staying afloat thanks to the San Diego Black Chamber of Commerce. As part of our commitment to equity, diversity, and inclusion in our community, we're working to map a path toward change. ABC 10 News reporter Cassie Carlisle shows us how a local grant is helping businesses survive.
Here we go, day number 1.
Captain Bill Wilkerson of Malahini Sport Fishing loves being on the water. He's fished since he was old enough to cast.
We used to fish on Venice Pier from sunup to sundown.
Grandma would take Wilkerson on hours-long bus rides to get out of their LA neighborhood.
I went back, 10, 15 years ago to see if I can locate some of those friends. And most of them were gone due to gang violence and drugs and things like that.
His grandmother opened the door to the world of sport fishing, and Wilkerson launched Malahini Sport Fishing in 2006. Sadly, it wasn't smooth sailing.
2011, I was diagnosed with cancer. Brain tumor. 2017, the boat struck a whale.
Burning a hole in his finances he's still working to fill.
We started 2020 strong, and then COVID-19 happened.
Wilkerson said they applied for every grant and loan available. The Black Business Relief Grant Fund awarded him $1,000. So far, it's the only grant he's gotten.
They really want to see Black and minority and Asian businesses succeed.
The first step is to give them a grant for recovery. And then the second step is to make sure that they have mentorship, to make sure that they have business development programs to support their business, to elevate their businesses, and to make sure that we are continuously supporting our businesses from a growth initiative.
To me, it's been invaluable. I mean, to see that there are doors that can be open for a guy who owns a fishing boat who can't get financing because of whatever.
Filled with gratitude and hope for the future. Cassie Carlisle, ABC 10 News.
You can email info@sdblackchamber.org to learn about upcoming grant opportunities. And if you would like to donate to the fund, the link is on our website.
This 10 News Pinpoint Weather Report is sponsored by Anderson Plumbing, Heating and Air. Nobody wows clients like we do.
Oppressive heat on the way. Meteorologist Angelica Campos tracking it. Angelica, what's the latest?
Well, not excited about this one. It's going to be hot, it's going to be dry, elevated fire danger, pretty much everything coming into the mix, and the possibility to break records. So let's get started. Today we made it to 78 degrees in San Diego, in Valley Center 95, already well into the 90s, in Julian, Ramona, Escondido 90 degrees today, in Campo 101. So coastal communities are still somewhat comfortable, mid-70s at this hour. Upper 80s in our inland communities and foothills. Expect those temperatures to go up another 5 to 10 degrees. A lot of people looks like they're starting their holiday weekend a little bit early, heading out to the beach in Del Mar. We have a couple of surfers, walkers, some people sitting out there just enjoying the afternoon. The water temperature is in the low 70s, but expected to get much warmer by Sunday. Temperatures will be so hot, excessive heat is expected all over the county and across much of the state of California. An excessive heat warning will begin for inland communities all the way back to the deserts tomorrow at 10 a.m. And then for the coast, you'll be included Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So tomorrow, we'll start to see those temperatures go up, but it'll be Saturday and Sunday when it's going to be excessive for coastal communities. And you can see here how it compares to the average 82 in San Diego for tomorrow. Average high 77, still close to normal, but getting a little bit warmer in Oceanside and Carlsbad. And then over towards areas like Ramona, expecting temperatures in the triple digits tomorrow. So today we had a high of 93, adding almost 10 degrees for tomorrow, and getting close to the record in Borrego Springs tomorrow with 113. The record for tomorrow is 114. So definitely within reach to set new records. Patchy to dense fog will be impacting the overnight hours near the coast. Lower in visibility, potentially down to a quarter of a mile. So please be careful. Elevated fire danger this weekend with Santa Ana winds. And then the dangerous heat will extend all the way through Monday. The hottest days will be Saturday and Sunday. Overnight, we'll be close to 70 tonight, so it's already going to start warming up at night. Inland communities, you have another night to enjoy before the temperatures will stay in the 70s in the overnight hours. So the breakdown, mid-90s for the coast this weekend with excessive heat through Monday. Inland communities going into the 90s tomorrow, and then triple digits for the weekend, 98 degrees on Monday. It will be hot, it will be dry, so it is going to be a challenging weekend for a lot of people. In the mountains, 92 degrees with mid-90s Saturday and Sunday. Santa Ana winds will be relatively weak. The winds out of the east could range from 15 to 30 miles per hour, elevating fire danger to near critical conditions on Saturday. Expecting the winds to become a little bit lighter on Sunday, but Saturday is going to be the day to watch for Santa Ana winds. In the deserts, around 113 tomorrow, and then closer to 120 as we head into the beginning of next week. Back to you guys.
A busy time for you, we know. We'll check back in later. And police are asking for help finding a hit-and-run driver who left a 69-year-old man lying in the road. Surveillance video captured the crime on Orange Avenue in Mid-City on August 14th. A dark-colored sedan hits the pedestrian and then turns around and speeds off. The victim suffered major leg injuries. Police don't have a description of the car, but they are hoping that anyone with information will contact them. Crime Stoppers is offering a $1,000 reward for information leading to an arrest. Helping restaurants rebound now that some customers are allowed inside.
The most important thing is making people feel welcome.
Industry experts explain how scaling down can actually help businesses go up.
Skycam Views, sponsored by Carlsbad Solar.
Restaurants across San Diego County are reopening at 25% capacity for indoor dining, but they say that's not enough. ABC 10 News reporter Jared Aaron spoke with industry experts who say the best way to rebound may be to scale back.
March 17th, this is the toughest day of our restaurant. We had to lay off 29 employees.
The coronavirus pandemic hit Cali Comfort Barbecue hard.
The most important thing is making people feel welcome, and the coronavirus is literally the antithesis of that.
To keep his restaurant alive, owner Sean Walchef realized he needed a new strategy. Working with consultants from Restaurant Solutions, he transformed his thriving barbecue and sports bar into a digital-only takeout and delivery restaurant.
As restaurant owners, we can't discriminate how people eat our barbecue. You know, if they want to order barbecue delivered to their office, or if they want to get it ordered to the Little League field, then they should be able to get that. They shouldn't have to come and wait in line, you know, wait an hour on a busy Sunday to come and get barbecue.
It's a move Restaurant Solutions says is necessary during and after the pandemic.
This isn't going away. So it's about identifying how you are going to adapt to that and what practices can you put in place that are going to help you succeed with really what that new normal is.
Sydney Lynn with Restaurant Solutions says her company focuses on 4 strategies to help restaurants survive the coronavirus. Find a break-even point, adjust your budget, which could mean layoffs or cuts, streamline your menu, and go digital by improving your website, takeout and delivery options, and social media.
The great thing is that the restaurant entrepreneurs and owners, they're the most creative and innovative folks you'll know, so if anyone can pivot, it will be them.
For Cali Comfort, it meant eliminating breakfast on weekends, cutting menu items, and finding ways to make people feel as welcomed online as they would inside.
Whether it's through their website, whether it's through their email, whether it's through Facebook, whether it's through Instagram, direct message, Those are all customers, and we need to treat them the same way as if they walked into our restaurant.
The new strategies are working for Cali Comfort. Walchef says he now plans to expand, opening a digital-only kitchen for delivery and takeout in Barrio Logan sometime this year. As for dine-in, he says he's still trying to evaluate when to reopen those doors. In Spring Valley, Jared Aarons, ABC 10 News.
There's a new tool for job seekers during the pandemic.
Think of it like Match.com for careers.
Well, how it can help those looking for work. And the CHP is turning to one of its officers struck by tragedy to warn people not to drink and drive this holiday weekend. The emotional video the department is using to get its message across.
ABC 10 News at 5 starts now.
I was not at this crash. I was not even in the same state that it happened, but it completely changed my and my family's life.
With Labor Day weekend quickly approaching, CHP officers want to make it clear, don't drink and drive.
As ABC 10 News reporter Mimi Alcala shows us, this time they're getting the message across through an emotional public service announcement with the story of one of their own.
A lot of times we do have other people make an impact statement.
As a public information officer for the California Highway Patrol, Officer Mark LaTulip does what he can to help keep drunk drivers off of the road.
I go and present to classes and schools, and I'm on the Marine base a lot.
Not only because it's his job, but because he knows firsthand just how painful the impacts of drinking and driving can be.
I have a story to use that hopefully is impactful.
He's now inviting members of the public to take a look into his personal life. The CHP provided us with this 14-minute public service announcement in the form of a short documentary.
I look around and I saw I was the only one up. Deep down, I knew it wasn't going to be okay.
That's Officer LaTulip's niece, Kira. She was the sole survivor of a head-on crash during a 2017 family vacation in Texas. The crash killed her mom, her dad, and her brother. Her dad was Officer LaTulip's cousin.
Scotty was a teacher at Valley Center High School. Jackson was a freshman. Nancy worked for Geico, and people loved her there.
The driver that hit the family's car was drunk and later sentenced to 18 years in prison.
So my family took in Kira. It's an honor to take her in. I'm filling in. It's hard.
To prevent more families from experiencing the same pain and loss ahead of the holiday weekend, Officer LaTulip wants people to stop and think before making a potentially life-altering decision.
Have a plan. Good people make bad choices. Make a good choice.
Mimi Alcala, ABC 10 News.
It's just heartbreaking. Extra CHP officers are expected to be out this weekend, ensuring that the roads are safe. If you would like to see that full 14-minute documentary, you can head to our website, 10news.com.
Very emotional. And the latest unemployment figures show just under 900,000 Americans filed for benefits in the last week. The number is falling below 1 million for the second time since the shutdown started. This report is also the first since the Department of Labor started using a new updated system to report seasonally adjusted data. And this is expected to lead to lower numbers than we've seen in recent months. Well, a local nonprofit is taking a page from online dating to help match you with a new career. It's more sophisticated than Tinder's swiping left. And as ABC 10 News' John Horn reports, it can help anyone on the rebound looking for a job or a career change.
So I think I'm hanging up my apron.
When Dusty Best decided to leave the restaurant industry to become a coder, the San Diego Workforce Partnership helped him find his current internship.
Maybe a little bit more of a future for me there.
The nonprofit offers a wide range of job search resources for San Diegans, from career coaching to placement. And this week, it released a new tool to help San Diegans discover key careers they may not have known existed.
Think of it like Match.com for careers, right? Once you get a career match, it says, okay, well, if you want to take the next step in this relationship, then here's what you do.
Or maybe it's more like eHarmony, because you take a 60-question test to see where your interests lie. For instance, if you want to investigate the cause of a fire, click Agree. And if repairing and installing locks isn't your thing, click Disagree. At the end, you get a breakdown of fields that are right for you, with training programs, salary information, and even live job postings.
It will match them with a percentage. And for example, say teacher, 100% match, engineer, 25% match, whatever it is, to expose people to careers that they didn't know about.
The new tool is called My Next Move. It's the culmination of a year-long project that comes as our region's unemployment rate remains above 12%. John Horn, ABC 10 News.
The page also lists 72 priority jobs in San Diego, which pay most workers at least $16 an hour and are projected to show solid annual growth. We have a link on our website, 10news.com/rebound. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi continues to face criticism after surveillance video surfaced of her at a shuttered San Francisco salon. She also wasn't wearing a mask. Salons have been closed in the city for the past 6 months. Pelosi responded to the video, calling it a setup. The salon owner of the last 12 years, Erica Kios, denies Pelosi's claims, saying she's now getting death threats and threats to burn down her salon.
Someone who breaks a rule to feed themselves or their children is very different from Mrs. Pelosi, who supports rules that even she acknowledges by her actions are not necessarily to ensure safety. I just wanted all stylists, including Jonathan, to be able to work in all salons, including mine. To be able to reopen safely for indoor services.
The owner is a single mother of 2. She says Pelosi's hairstylist texted her about the appointment the night before. He claims that his boss took special interest in it after finding out.
Your voice, your vote. With the election just 2 months away, President Trump is facing pushback for urging people to vote twice as a test. ABC's Karen Travers explains why the White House is defending the president's comments.
President Trump has repeatedly tried to undermine Americans' confidence in November's election by claiming that mail-in ballots could lead to widespread fraud. He's now encouraging voters to test the system by attempting to commit voter fraud.
President Trump suggesting Wednesday in North Carolina that voters vote twice, first by mail, then in person.
Send it in early and then go and vote. And if it's not tabulated, you vote, and the vote is going to count. You can't let them take your vote away. These people are playing dirty politics.
It is illegal to vote twice. And while election laws vary by state, in North Carolina, doing what the president is suggesting would be a Class 1 felony offense. The president on Twitter Thursday telling Americans to go to their polling places on Election Day and see if their mail-in vote has been counted. Mr. Trump writing, if it has not been counted, vote. Trump administration officials are defending the president's comments in North Carolina, saying he's simply encouraging voters to verify their ballot counts and showing how voter fraud could work.
It seems to me what he's saying is he's trying to make the point that the ability to monitor this system is not good. And if it was so good, if you tried to vote a second time, you would be caught.
But testing the voting system could get voters in major trouble.
Attempting to vote more than once, knowing that you're doing it, that's illegal. Even if you do it by accident, that can be illegal. And if you coerce someone else into doing it, that's illegal.
President Trump rallies his supporters in Pennsylvania tonight. Recent polls show Joe Biden with an advantage there. In 2016, the president won Pennsylvania by just 44,000 votes. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
Facebook says it will not accept any new political ads in the week before the November election. It's part of a new plan to stop efforts to combat misinformation. Facebook says it will remove posts claiming people will get COVID-19 if they vote, and it will label posts that seek to delegitimize voting. Facebook says it will link any misleading posts to sources with authoritative information.
There is an update regarding the video released yesterday showing officers pinning down an unarmed black man. Today, the mayor of Rochester suspended all 7 of the officers involved. This is the first time the officers faced discipline since the death of Daniel Prude 5 months ago. Body camera footage prompted outrage from the public, and the state attorney general has promised an investigation. Coming up, the major deal Prince Harry and Meghan have signed with Netflix just months after parting ways with the royal family. And a California fisherman tells all after reeling in a live pipe bomb from the river.
6 months after separating from the royal family and moving to California, Prince Harry and his wife Meghan are now hitting Hollywood. As ABC's Rena Roy explains, the couple just signed a major deal with Netflix to create content for the streaming giant.
The Duke and Duchess of Sussex are going from British to Hollywood royalty. Harry and Meghan set to make their mark on the small screen, signing a mega multi-year deal with Netflix to produce scripted and docuseries, documentaries, and children's specials.
They're intelligent, involved, they have a vision of what they want to do and how they want to do it.
That vision includes highlighting issues important to the couple, already in development an animated series that celebrates inspiring women. They also plan on giving a global platform to diverse voices.
This is them kind of planting their flag in terms of what they're going to do now. I would imagine it's a pretty tidy sum.
In a statement to the New York Times, Harry and Meghan saying, "Our focus will be on creating content that informs but also gives hope. As new parents, making inspirational family programming is also important to us."
We can just jump right in.
Last month, Meghan hinted at what their passion projects may focus on while appearing as an interviewer on the 19th.
It's not new to see this undercurrent of racism and certainly unconscious bias. But I think to see the changes that are being made right now is really, it's something that I look forward to being a part of.
Though she starred in the hit series Suits,
I'm not interested.
ABC News has learned right now Meghan has no plans on getting back in front of the camera. Meantime, the couple are settling into their new life in Montecito, California, reportedly buying a $14.7 million home north of Los Angeles. Harry and Meghan were recently spotted giving back to their community, planning forget-me-nots with local preschoolers in honor of Harry's mom, Princess Diana, and handing out back-to-school supplies at an elementary school.
So far, no official word from Buckingham Palace on the couple's new venture. This next step certainly solidifying their split from the royal family as they create their own path forward in becoming financially independent. Rena Roy, ABC News, San Francisco.
It started with a few women with sewing machines determined to help during the pandemic.
From then on, they call us sewing angels.
Coming up, the powerful bond formed between the sewing angels and frontline workers.
It's like a spreading the angel love to everywhere, every corner in the hospital.
It started with one donation to a local hospital, and now it's grown into a bond between two groups. In this Positively San Diego story, ABC 10 News reporter Leah Pizzetti shows us how some angels are watching over the staff at Sharp Chula Vista.